In the spotlight tonight, when may I shoot a student? That's the question asked by my next guest, Greg Hampikian, a professor at Boise State University. Also joining us now is Mike Masterson, the police chief in Boise, Idaho. Greg, tell us why you had to ask this question in this op-ed piece. You're asking it of your state legislature there in Idaho.
Well, you know, the only way to fight farce is with farce. And this was a public safety question. This is a right that the university presidents have had in the law to regulate guns on campus, and it's being taken away. And the worst insult, the reason it was farcical, was because they wouldn't let our police chief talk. They brought in someone from the NRA, gave him 40 minutes. Our police chief was there, and to me that really could only be answered with satire.
Well, you make some very serious points in the op-ed piece. I'm going to read part of it, and you do it with a wink most of the way through. You said, I have had encounters with disgruntled students over the years, some of whom seemed quite upset, but I always assumed that when they reached into their backpacks, they were going for a pencil. Since I carry a pen to lecture, I did not feel outgunned, and because there are no working sharpeners in the lecture hall, the most they could get off is a single point. But now that we'll be all packing heat, I would like legal instruction in the rules of classroom engagement. Now that lethal force is an option, I need to know which infractions may be treated as de facto capital crimes. Chief Masterson, you know, those questions have a real basis to them now, with the legislature contemplating making it completely legal suddenly for college kids to have guns.
Yeah, it's a reality that we're facing. We think the law is going to go through. And what it will require is the development of a whole new set of procedures, how to contact people that are in classrooms that someone sees a gun on, to how can we do this being least disruptive in a learning environment. And there's a lot of work to be done that lies ahead of us.
There's one estimate that work's going to cost over $2 million, including retraining of police officers involved. And now they're going to have to distinguish between good guns and bad guns on campus, where before all guns were bad on campus. Greg, it seems to me that you might have some better educational purposes for that $2 million.
Well, yeah, and I think as a lot of letter writers have pointed out, I don't know nothing about guns, and I shouldn't have one. But with 9 hours training, I too can become a hobbyist police officer and be authorized to bring a gun on campus and to use it according to my 9 hours of training. I don't want vigilantes protecting me in my classroom. I think vigilante justice is best practiced at home, and I have nothing against it. I just, no thanks. I don't need them to have guns if they're not trained officers of the law or have extensive experience and people around them, professionals who will check on their mental health, who will check on their ability to carry a gun in every day. And that's what police officers do, and I'm very grateful for it.
College is that place where people are being kind of guided into their adult maturity. And Greg, you write about this bill. You are encouraging firearms within a densely packed concentration of young people who are away from home for the first time and are coincidentally the age associated with alcohol and drug experimentation and the commission of felonies. Chief Masterson, the idea that drunk frat boys should have more loaded weapons near them at that time in their lives seems particularly reckless.
Well, it can be a dangerous combination. We found that out a few years ago in Boise, where we had exactly that happen. Two young men, good families, intoxicated, drinking, and then there was the use of a firearm that led to the death of one individual. 2 lives lost because the other individual ended up spending time in prison. It's just a deadly combination, and we think that it's a solution being posed where there's no problem.
Professor Greg Hampikian of Boise State University and Boise Police Chief Mike Masterson, thank you both very much for joining me tonight.